Hi, this is my submission for chapters 7 through 11, and I'm kind of piggybacking off my first post where I was talking about how colonialism really had a hand in shaping our agricultural systems today. I'm kind of talking about it through a capitalistic lens, but I kind of view those two things as two sides of the same coin, but here we go. The first things I kind of noticed while reading was how in capitalism, the drive for profit really changes or has diminished over time people's understanding of food, even the ones who work directly with them, with the production of food, both plant and animals. The first example of this was with how the chef that this author worked with mentioned how he viewed cows as stupid, dumb, dull. But later on, when the author visited a farm where cows and other ruminant animals were in a much better condition, where they had selection of grass and food to eat that was much more aligned with what they would want to in the wild, etc. They were full of drive, life, they seemed much more lively, etc. And so what the chef was seeing was not stupidity, but just a really bored, tired, driveless cow. And they also talked about how the product obviously was incredibly different. Same thing with they talked about foie gras with the livers and how just quality difference and quality of life, etc. And having knowledge about animals and what it takes to produce good food is kind of antithetical to capitalistic models. Having an opposite example in this vein is how the farmer with all the geese had a fence with only kind of electrical outlets on the outside, but not on the inside. And the author was surprised and taken aback. It's hey, aren't you trying to keep them inside? It's I don't have to do that. They want to stay because I make them feel free. I have happy conditions. And even to the point where the wild geese flocks would come in and sometimes never even leave. And they're I have more geese now. It's that contrast in how agriculture, sustainable versus non-sustainable, is run, and how the understanding of animals and food and quality of food is drastically different in those two different systems of farming. Next point that kind of stood out to me was, sorry, let me look at my notes real quick. How kind of the whole system drives on overproduction and overconsumption, how that kind of spills out and affects things that I didn't expect. You do expect things there's going to be waste, there's going to be global warming due to the decomposing waste of food, etc., etc. What surprised me was it goes on to more of a global scale in terms of effects beyond global warming and waste. Let me pull up a quote from the book. There we go. It says, in recent years, Mexico has become another popular outlet for America's overabundance. In 2008, the country eliminated tariff protection on imports, opening the floodgates to hundreds of thousands of tons of chicken legs. The decision immediately wreaked havoc on small states like Jalisco, one of Mexico's largest areas of poultry farming. Some Mexican poultry producers were forced to consolidate to lower their costs, in effect repeating the path Purdue pursued in the 1960s. In the meantime, Jalisco's poultry workers displaced from their communities began entering the United States illegally in large numbers. And he's you kind of see the cycle here. It's the drive for profit and the overproduction, in this case in poultry, has not just wreaked havoc and you have so much excess you don't know what to do with. You have an effect of displacement in a whole other country simply by offloading your excess. That's wild to me. So last point here is kind of leading to one of the articles had on our reading list. The article about food apartheid, the Empathy NRDC article. We have the term food sovereignty, and was a term and movement created by La Via Campesina, and quoting it, it says, "It is the right of all people to design and influence their own food systems and the right to healthy, culturally appropriate, and sustainably produced food." And it's like, that's kind of the whole reason why I've been taking this class, the whole reason why I'm trying to get my degree in general. And I'm kind of excited moving forward because I want to read more things like this, want to learn from groups like we read in the article in Vogue, and see what alternative systems there are, but like noticing first how the system we're currently in is just not going to do it if we're going to make significant changes. We're going to have to redo the system or offer enough alternatives that the system has to change to survive itself. Thank you.